continue with my series on the wanderers. So in my new approach, I use the elements of the icons. We studied in art history the Byzantine iconography, and then Russian took from them elements of those. So what I did before, I used the background as more natural, the woods, or I darkened completely in this background to focus on the face of the wanderer. Now I change it, where I use the approach of the icons, where I gold leaf it, but I decide not simply to gold leaf it, because when the wanderer is all those obstacles they go through in their life. So I mosaiced it, and then what I did, I used several different type leaves. I use copper leaf, I use white gold, 12 karat gold, and then 23 karat gold, the yellow gold. But what I do, I lay out the first layer, and I stain it. What I do, I take a damar varnish or medium and put some kind of the translucent stain, like red iron oxide, and I simplify that first. It give one depth. I apply second layer, and I go with white gold, and try to walk as a little elements of like a mosaic, inserting them. And then I go with yellow gold, and meanwhile you look at the whole image and try to think what is working for the composition. And then I start to intersect them, interlap them, and then it's like puzzling things. I used patterned gold and slice them on the small pieces and insert, and the further I go, I would say here probably in the wanderer there's about maybe 5 layers of gold, and every layer I seal and stain a little, and then when I need the highlights, I put fresh yellow gold. With white gold, I always have to, and the copper, I need to seal them, because they will tarnish eventually. If you want them to tarnish, you can leave them, but a yellow gold, you don't have to worry that much, because it doesn't tarnish. And to me, the approach in icons, or that type of language, is to glorify. And then people of that type whom I represent, to me, when this particular one dressed in hifsur, the traditional, the costume, I try to give the look of legendary kind of look on that. So, and it's kind of old-timer look also. And the other help, because wanderer goes through the day or night or the rain, it doesn't matter. Well, night, symbol of who helps you to go through. I will represent your night guard. So I use those owls to help him through. So, and that's new technique I developed for myself. I'm still working with that. So I try to make it as complicated as is possible. So, and then, that's it. This painting is one of the series of Veritas, and I go back and forth with something I've done before, try to tweak a few things, which I think not better or worse, a little different. So starting my gold series, literally using gold, I I played was background as something, like I said before, in icons, it does glorify. In this case, it's serious on veritas, and when we get in trouble by making our own mistakes, or deceived somebody, or somebody deceived you, I don't know, that when your truth is basically gone, you have to get back to the same values you stood before. And this painting before, the take on this painting before was last thing before you leave. This I named departure. But you will remember that moment of departure. But memory of a veritas will be glorious, because that's what will bring you back again. So that's why I was thinking that gold around, and I was trying to make it more vivid kind of, and then unbroken on the white and yellow gold, inserting some copper there. So those are different warms and cools. And I played with lots of stains and stuff around. But also, as it goes through the birds themselves, that's what separates you between what you care about, the veritas, for example, and you yourself. The birds represents that noise, or not distraction, but not far from that also, disturbance maybe. So and that's my new take on the painting Last Thing Before You Leave, which I call this one Departure. In this painting, which I probably exhibited a couple of times before, and after each show, I still wasn't pleased with outcome. I changed it several times. If somebody can X-ray background, they will see how many times horse changed position, and the goal stayed more or less the same. At the beginning, it was this. I called it nightmare, and then literally there's a mare, and then but I played with words a little bit. It's when somebody is 16 and there is so much in front of you that it's overwhelming. You will fall. You have to get up and go. But now, when there is a time in our life with so much uncertainty, and it's like a huge storm is gathering, and in everywhere where in the world you look to, and there's the most unpredictable things possible. So no matter what will happen, you either will fall, but you have to get up and go again. And the leaves, like in the fall, when you watch, for example, I loved in some of the Chinese movies, I forgot, Hero or something, they had this image of leaves kind of like tornado type go through, and then human being there in between. So you always borrow things here and there from whatever the poetry or music or movies you see. So this does represent to me now time with much uncertainty, and people are shocked sometimes and they try to survive. But most important, you will fall, but you have to get up and go, no matter what. So this is what, but I named it fall. It's literally fall, like when you see it's the leaves. But mainly it's in your life, there will be up and downs. Well, in downs, all you have to say, okay, I will get up and will continue, and eventually you will get out of that. So everything is a help.